Hello. I just got some glazes in for some of my bisque-fired stuff, and I'm gonna go ahead and open that up with you here. And the long way of saying it is I got a green, I got a blue, and I got like a tan that has some interesting textures on stuff. And because I'm still learning, pardon the sound, I probably didn't buy nearly enough that I should have. And that's okay. It just means rather than dipping, I'm going to be brushing on rather than dipping, which I'm more used to. And so we're gonna figure that out together here. So let's figure that out. Okay, so quick little update here. I've got the first one mixed up, which is a chrome green, and I've got it to a consistency that I'm happy with, and it roughly matches the same consistency of Mystic Tide here. And through looking online, for 1 pound of dry, I'm adding like 10 to 11 ounces of water and just mixing it in incrementally until everything gets all happy. And it seems like that's roughly a consistent agreement. That and just talk about consistency. Again, I'm still figuring this out, so if I'm doing it wrong, I guess I'll figure it out down the road. But for the moment, I'm happy with that one. I'm gonna go ahead and mix up the next one, which is gray blue. And all three of these are from the Seattle Pottery Supply. So, let's get started. Hello. So we're getting real high tech and getting on the floor here. And so I've got my water. It's in there. And I've got my other dry mix, which is the gray blue. There it is. And so, like I did with the first one, I'm going to treat it like flour and add a little bit at a time and not get too close. So I'm huffing in fumes that I shouldn't be. But here, just so you can see me doing it. Here, let's change the angle. Welcome back. Okay. So we will continue our adding little by little situation here. And we'll just keep going. Also, just to be safe, for safety's sake, since there's a lot of, powder coming up, better be safe than sorry and put on a mask, because glazes have a lot of different things that make them up. So, all right, let's keep going. Unfortunately, I'm most of the way through at this point, but yeah, see, like that. For the first one, I was farther away, but for this one, I just want to be careful. Okay. I had to say hello to the missus. She got home from work, and so I showed her what I was doing. She was excited to see the glazes.
And so that is the last of the glaze in there. And now I just gotta mix it up. All right. It's gonna need some more mixing probably, but I like that consistency. Sweet. Let's get back up to the workbench.
So I've got it set up to where I have a little wheel that I can glaze on. I've got my glaze that I'm gonna first start out with. And I'm gonna break a rule of cinematography and have you come over here because, hi, I'm left-handed. So I figured it would be more interesting if you actually saw the brush going across it. So let's go ahead and do that now. Hello and welcome to this side. So let's go ahead and get started, shall we? Yeah. Okay, so first thing I'm noticing is that it dries very quickly, and I need to be more steady with my hand and really make sure that I'm hydrating the whole thing. It's gonna be a little bit difficult, I think, just because I live in Arizona, and so with dry heat, it's gonna make this a little bit more interesting. So let us keep pressing forward and go from there. So let's do this. Okay, here we go for layer 2. It's said to alternate directions in order to get the best and smoothest results. So this dries so fast, oh my goodness. It's definitely more challenging than than dipping it, that is for certain. And I will fully admit that there's a high likelihood that I'm doing this entirely wrong, of which I will call it a learning experience and fix it more on the back end than the applying part of it, but whew, I know that's looking a little crunchy. So there's coat 2. Okay. Part of the problem might have been that I was applying it with a completely dry brush. So I want to see what happens if I add water onto the bristles before the third coat and just see what happens. Well, that does run smoother, so I think that might have been my problem. So in between, I'll just get it a little bit wet, dab a little bit more on. Wow, that runs a lot better. Okay, we're learning, we're learning. Wow, that's so much better. Okay, so that's 3 coats there. Exciting. I'll end up doing some cleanup on this guy once it's fully dried, but for the meantime, I'm gonna flip this over and do the inside, and then I'll show some progress on some other pizzas once I, get farther along. But as I was saying, I'm figuring this out as I go, because it's different than what I learned, and that's exciting to learn new things. So, see you on the flip side. quite literally. Okay, so here we are on the other side, and I can see that some of the water from brushing it on the back is seeping through. So I'm gonna go ahead and just, wow, that's so much better when you have water in the equation. Some water, some hue, and then we'll just keep going. I'm gonna hit up the rim because I didn't get that earlier. Okay, on to layer number 2 for the inside and the rim. So we're gonna go the opposite direction as it advised, which is now this. Oh God, which way did I go? I think I was going that way. Okay, so we're going this way now. Okay, it's coming together. We're gonna get it a little bit wet again, just so that it keeps being happy when I'm laying this down. And then we'll wait for the third coat, which will be very shortly. So, yeah. So, taking a pause on that piece, and I'm gonna move on to some other pieces I got here, just because it needs some time to dry. And so I've got it out in the beautiful Arizona sun to help speed that process along. And then I'll show you the third coat. But in the meantime, I'm gonna start working on some of those pieces over there. Ooh. Some of those. Those. Anyway, I'll come back once I got more to update on. I've made a bit of a system to where, which is why there's these over here. So essentially the idea that I've come up with is I put on the first layer of the glaze and then set it aside so that it can dry so that I can put more layers on. And it's not slowing me down, so I'm not sitting here just waiting, killing time. Speaking of which, let me go grab that other piece. Sorry, you will be glazed soon. Be right back. Okay, so here it is. I think it's good enough to do the third layer on it. Thank you, Arizona sun. The sun, not the tea. And so I'll go ahead and rock this out real quick. I'm not trying to press down or anything. I'm trying to be as gentle as I can be because, again, this is a new technique for me. I think it's looking pretty good. Okay, so it's a little bit crunchy around the edges of it, but we will get that cleaned up. And so I have it like this because that's a stylistic thing I like to do, is have like around the area, and then I'm now experimenting with having the center glazed. I don't know, we're trying stuff out, seeing what sticks. Quite literally, I promise I'm not trying to make puns here. They just kind of happen around me. But anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and clean that piece up and put them into these boxes that I have, because I'm gonna be taking them to get fired whenever I get all these done. So I'm gonna go ahead and end it here, and thanks for coming along on the journey. And here's for the next part. All right, bye. Wah.